we can never go back from this. The Indian Challenger had more power per displacement of any bagger when it was released, and it just got even better. For 2025, the Indian Challenger gets the updated 112 cubic inch Power Plus, which brings the horsepower up to 126 and 133 foot-pounds of torque, which alone sounds crazy, but that's just the beginning. And speaking of beginnings, we never start off by just ripping a motorcycle to redline the second we get on it, do we? No, of course not. We take our time, we sit on the bike, we move around, we get comfortable with how the bike feels, we take it around nice and slowly, see how the power is delivered, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And right here, just like that, nice and easy, taking off, this thing is wonderful, man. Your first impressions is it's light and nimble and moves back and forth so easily, so comfortable. The throttle isn't twitchy and jerky. It gives you really, really good first impressions. The gearbox gives you a nice confirming on the shift. I don't know if you could hear that. She treats you real nice when you first get started. Now that we've taken the time to see how comfortable and easy it is to move around, it's time to get really, really comfortable. Let's take a look at the seating position on this machine. I am 5'10", and I clearly do not have any issues flat-footing this thing. Hands out, floorboards, seating position, just like what you'd expect, which as you get to cruising feels like exactly how you would expect. Easy ride, well balanced. Like, this is exactly what this machine is meant to do. 55 miles an hour, fifth gear, just cruising. You don't feel anything. You're in your own little bubble. The seat is perfect, has you hold back. Feet are nice and relaxed on the floorboards. Arms are straight out. This is a dream. And it leans over real nice, just like that. Once you get to cruise around a little bit and you get comfortable with the machine, that's when we actually begin to give it a little bit more throttle and get comfortable on the bike. But not too comfortable, because this bike makes this much horsepower and this much torque, which for a bagger is a lot, and that makes me feel amazing. It has torque from the bottom, so I can be in fourth gear going 25 miles an hour, 1500 RPMs, and we are buttery smooth. I can give it throttle, and look at that, 45, 50, 55, 60. It has power, and that was just at 3500 RPMs. So it has power to cruise at low speed, and since it's a Pursuit and it's liquid cooled, it has revs in the middle. So we have acceleration at both the bottom and the top. And this is just normal acceleration. Like, a little bit of throttle gives you a lot of input. And I can be here, again, fourth gear, 30 miles an hour, behind this car, 2000 RPMs, and I can just cross over right here and just give it a little bit of teeny throttle. And there I am, 55 miles an hour, no drama, no frills. It just accelerates. I don't know how else to say it. It's good. But after riding the power band out for a little bit, we see that this machine has a little bit of oomph behind it. So we need to check out these 4-piston Brembo monoblock calipers with this size rotor right here. And as we slow down for this school zone, the brakes are awesome. I mean, it's a big bike, right? So it's gonna take a little bit for that brake to start slowing the machine down, but in reality, they grab really nice. There's not a lot of dead zone. And if you're like me and you like to use a lot of rear brake, you have this giant pedal right here to where 30 miles an hour, I just want to hit the rear brakes, and that is good enough to stop me if I don't feel like using the front brakes. And they're also linked, so great front brakes for emergency stopping, amazing rear brakes to the point where you don't really need to use the front brakes unless you want to, and when you do, they are responsive. They're great brakes, they give you great feedback, they have a good lever feel. I mean, there's not much to say about the brakes, man. They're good. They also come with steel braided lines, which is part of the reason why they're so responsive. But a quick stab and you're literally stopping. And since we just talked about these calipers right here, we might as well talk about what they're attached to. These upside down forks. Yes, a bagger with performance suspension. I swear somebody on the design team had to have messed up to allow this to happen. Because these things absorb all of the bumps. All of the bumps. Those little bumps in the road, just the gravelly bumps, you don't feel them at all.
The big bumps, this is being a Pursuit, has that electronic rear shock, literally absorbs everything. The Challenger has non-adjustable rear shocks, but it still does the same trick. All of these little minute imperfections in the road, you do not feel them, you don't feel them back, and it absorbs the big ones. And they're also, on this model, electronically adjustable for 2 passengers. You click a couple buttons and then poof, all of a sudden it is set up for the weight of having 2 passengers and luggage. And the bike is still nimble back and forth. It actually settles and it handles that suspension, it handles that travel really nicely even while under load. It's firm and it's soft, which is crazy for a big bagger, because most of the times the bigger you get, the more spongy the suspension feels, and this actually avoids that. And look at how crappy this road is. Look at that gravel. And I don't feel anything in the bike right here. I literally don't feel that. You can see the bike going up and down into these holes, but it doesn't jar the bike. I can't feel that as a rider. That is incredible. Usually when I ride another bike through here, I sound like this. But this bike, the same potholes. That's crazy. This bike literally flushes all of that stuff out. The suspension on this bike is amazing for the long haul.
And as far as tech, this bike literally has everything. That's all I need to say. Just kidding, I need to say it. Starting from right to left, we have obviously throttle, kill switch, cruise control, windshield button that we'll talk about in a little bit. We actually have the blind spot monitoring system, has a light right here. Obviously we have the master cylinder, we have speedo and tack with gear indicator, fuel right there, and then the full ride command screen. This thing has everything from GPS to controlling your rider modes. This particular bike has heated and cooled seats for the rider and passenger. It has fog lights, it has TPS sensors, it has literally everything in this screen. On the left side, we have our horn, high beams, turn signal, and the music control, so we can control everything on that screen without leaving literally this home base position. And of course, it's a bagger, so we have bags. These are remote locking bags. Boop, push the button on a key fob and they lock. And since we're talking about tech, I think it's fair to say that this automatically adjusting screen falls into that category. But that's also a ride feature, and I prefer to talk about that like this.
And then you get to hear 50 miles an hour cruising, the windscreen blocks everything. I'm in my bubble, I put cruise control on, and we're just going. That blind spot monitoring, letting me know that a car is coming up. Light right there, you saw the little light right there. You couldn't ask for anything more than this. Like, this is the place to be for a very long haul, man. And here we go. All we need to do to speed up, catch up to traffic, roll off the throttle, turn off cruise control, whoop, and 65 miles an hour, reset cruise, and here we are, cruising with traffic. Actually a little bit faster than traffic. But this little thing, you can just move it around, man. Like when you're on the highway and you're putting miles on this machine, I don't know how to tell you, dude. Look at that. Crazy. Ooh. Oh, it even has the little sensor for behind you when a car gets too close. Cool. I love this bike, man. Oh, I love this bike. Look at that.
So we find ourselves here at a full circle moment. We've taken time to sit on the bike, ride the bike, get to know it, take it around slowly, feel out the suspension, feel out the throttle and the mid-range power delivery, feel out the brakes, and get to know what it can do as far as tech and features. And now we're back to where we started, right? For 2025, the Indian Challenger gets the updated 112 cubic inch Power Plus, which brings the horsepower up to 126 and 133 foot-pounds of torque, which alone sounds crazy. And showing you how crazy that really is the end.
I mean, look at this. I shouldn't be able to do that on this big of a machine. I should not be able to do that on this big of a machine. And that is, again, factory. This is not exhaust, not a tune, not an intake. There are guys making 130 horsepower to the wheels on a factory bike with a tune and an exhaust. That is ridiculous.
So now that I've taken the time and completed my mission to show you guys exactly what this motorcycle is, I think it's time I summarize everything into one final thought that I can leave you guys with about the Indian Challenger, this particular bike being a Pursuit, but they're basically the same thing with the extra bags.
And it is time to summarize my experience with the Indian Challenger, the 2025 112 cubic inch. I reviewed this bike last year and I fell in love with it. It makes power the way that I enjoy. It builds from the bottom all the way to the top. You don't lose that low-end grunt that you get from a big twin. It still has torque down low, as you just saw, but this makes power up top and it carries all the way through 6,500 RPMs and even higher if you get a tune on these things. I've actually done some research on the back end and these things make power as they rev. It's a big, comfortable bike for the long haul and it hauls behind. I enjoy this bike. It looks good, it stops good, it goes good. Like, it is a nice, comfortable, plush ride. It is where you want to be and it makes the juice.
So yeah, this thing's a beast. It's literally my personal favorite bagger on the market. It revs out, it has top end power from the factory, and now that the Chieftain's got the Power Plus treatment, it's right up there as well. I personally just prefer the frame mounted bearing, but these two machines handle damn near the same. And if you want to have a little bit of a laugh about the new Indian Chieftain, check out this video right here. Trust me, it's gonna be funny.